Amateur golfers, professional golfers, experienced golfers, doesn't matter what you call yourself, we all want more distance with this club right here with the driver. And today I'm going to share with you one simple thing that the vast majority of you are not doing, and it has to do with ball position. All right, so first of all, here's what we know. We know that when we swing the golf club, all things being equal, assuming you hit the ball in the center of the face, right? And the easiest way to hit the golf ball a long ways is to hit the ball in the center of the face. And we got a ton of stuff out there about how to help you do that. But we know that if you hit the ball in the center of the face and you hit slightly up on the golf ball, that increases your launch and decreases your spin, which means the ball carries a lot further and then it rolls out. So one way to do that is to make sure that the ball is positioned slightly forward in the stance. So let me go ahead and show you what that should look like. So I've got my vertical line board out right here, and one of the things that we put in this when the team and I designed this is we put what we call the high launch slot. I love that name, high launch slot. It's right up here. It's got a nice big hole. So I'm going to go ahead and just tee up my golf ball. And if you're asking about tee height, one of the things that I believe is that the ball should be teed up so about half of the ball is above the top of the club head. It's one of our cornerstones. I'm going to give you a little tip here at the end that the great Jack Nicklaus did that can help improve your driving and your contact. But from a tee height standpoint, I want that ball to be teed up so about half of it is above the top of the club head. Now, ball position. So where should the ball be? Well, you know, if you've watched any of our videos here at US Golf TV, that the club basically swings like in a circle. It's kind of like a hula hoop, all things being equal. And we want to connect with the ball just after the bottom of the swing where the club is traveling in upward motion. So in order to do that, okay, you want the ball to be a little bit forward. So as I go ahead and get set in here, I'm going to position the ball right now. It's kind of right off the 6 and the 5. Okay, on the alignment bar. So I'm going to make sure that my lead foot, my lead toe is in that same area. So now that ball is positioned forward. So let me go ahead and hit a shot here, and I'm going to give you a couple other tips. So I've got the ball forward in the stance. Let me go ahead and make the motion. Okay, I got that one a little bit on the heel. Okay, nice and soft and easy. Now, when the ball is forward, it helps you hit up on the golf ball, like we said, and decreases the spin, but increases the launch. Let's go ahead and tee up another one. Now, most golfers, especially if you struggle with your driver and you got the ball too far back in your stance, you might be getting high marks up on the top like that. If you're doing that, then the ball is probably too far back in your stance. So we're going to get that ball forward in the stance. Now, the next tip I want to give you, I promised you, has to do with what Jack Nicklaus did. And I got all kinds of great tips. The team's got great tips like this on our channel. So be sure to subscribe to us here at US Golf TV, ring the bell, and we love hearing where you're from. Put that in the comments, and what is it that you want us to be talking about to help you play better golf. So I promised you a tip by the greatest driver of the golf ball of all time, Jack Nicklaus. 2 things that he did that I think could really help you. Number 1 is when you put the driver, the club, behind the golf ball, I want you to slightly elevate it a little bit. Now, why is that important? Well, when the club is slightly elevated, okay, you're holding the club, the weight of the club is in your hands. When the club is on the ground, the weight is bared by the ground, not by your hands. So when you elevate it, you're holding the weight, and that helps smooth out your rhythm and your takeaway and things like that. The other thing is you got to make sure that the club face is square. And this is the primary reason why we put the gray line on the vertical line board here. Because when people hit their driver, because of the way that it's designed, and they lower the shaft angle, the club face wants to rotate open. Okay, so they're set in there and they think that the club face is square, but because they've lowered their hands, the club face starts pointing to the right. So when we're set in there and you got the proper ball position, right, because you know what that is, put your driver down by the gray line there if you've got one of the vertical line boards. Get the club face nice and square. Okay, get the ball in the right spot, and then use the Jack Nicklaus tip by elevating the club. Go ahead and swing it through. And that little tip right there with proper ball position and a tip from the greatest driver of the golf ball of all time can help you improve your driving.